on this Sunday, very hot afternoon. Start the things we can get rid of the churros.
Oh, sorry. You getting hungry?
No,
It's not
that does not make me hungry looking
like
at that at all. Nope.
wait, it's not going like
Hmm?
oh there you go. It took a minute. I don't think they heard the first part.
Hello, Jay.
Why did I
Yes, Jay is hungry. What are you gonna get him?
I have gummies. Do you want gummies? Can I
You are lice. Oh, that's better. Live. Good. I don't want lice. Hello, Gray. Thank you for joining us. This is a whole new batch of pictures. So a lot of them are carry-alls that I took out of
well
off my list.
you're saying that to Gray, right? Because Jay already
Yes,
saw him.
yes, to Gray. Well, I didn't know. I didn't. Jay was riding in a car yesterday.
Fair.
So who knows how many that he saw?
Oh spider.
Spider.
I don't like spiders.
I'm gonna publish a video, a short and a video later today after I do the voiceover of a 1990 carryall, Ford carryall. That's the nicest one I've ever seen. 3 row. Yes, I did send out. I sent you an email, Jay. I sent it to anybody that I have a contact with. So the carryall that I published today is white with 3 rows of blue cloth seats. Very nice. 80,000 kilometers on it. 302 4-speed factory air conditioning, but of course it needs Freon, which means it needs some hoses and stuff
Hmm.
because it leaked out somehow. And but the thing is in a very small town in Puebla, so we would have to fly in to the second airport in Mexico City, take a bus to Pachuca, Hidalgo, and then from there, another bus to where the truck is. But it's kind of north of Mexico City and east. So, but the trip back will be almost the same as we did with the black dart,
Hmm.
because there's only like this much space on the map between Pachuca and this one. We'll just have to cover that before we get onto the exact same roads and hit everything. But it's a big truck, so it's a very nice, very nice truck. And like I said in the write up, it's very hard to find a brick nose, which is the 1987 and up Ford truck, because they brought out the Chevy Suburban in 1987 in Mexico, and people were buying those instead of buying the cab and chassis, the cab, and waiting for the conversion company to build this thing, and then it costing double what the Suburban would cost. So it's hard to find one of these of that year, 1990.
Mark Sauvé is here.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for joining us.
And Jay wants to know how long is the drive from Mexico City to you?
Well, it's from Mexico City. It's about 800 kilometers to Guadalajara, and then
600 plus land?
600.
I think so.
No, not 600 to Mazatlan. It's like 200. It's like 500 to Mazatlan, and then another 400 back here. Because it takes 3 hours. It takes 2 hours to Tepic, and then 3 hours to Mazatlan from there.
Hmm.
I go by hours. I don't go by
Yeah.
how long it takes me to drive, not how far I'm going. This green and beige one, that's even farther. That's in Veracruz, way far down there.
I should have brought popcorn.
I don't expect Junior Spec to be in here because he's probably still asleep from playing video games all night or studying all night. I choose to go with he's studying all night.
Okay.
This was like a Christmas truck. Dark green on the outside, bright red on the inside for Christmas.
Mm.
But they never answer my question, so very hard to present one of those vehicles without knowing what's going on with it. That's from a company I don't recognize because I don't recognize those rear doors. Looks cheesy.
I like the
Not cheesy, but
I like
cheap.
the paint,
Dark green.
but it has like details.
Mark, is it hot by you? If not, we can send you some of the heat if you send some of your coolness back later.
Yeah.
I was on Steve Lato this morning on the live, and people were talking about seasons. Oh well, tomorrow starts autumn. Like there's no seasons here. There's hot and less hot.
Yeah. There's summer and summer in a sweater.
Yeah.
Jay says, any classic Volvos in Mexico?
No, they never sold Swedish cars here.
And Lester says, usually tailgates, not rear doors.
Usually rear doors. There's one with a tailgate that's going to be coming up here, a blue and silver one, but nobody wants one with a tailgate. It's a really nice truck, but nobody wants it because of the tailgate. They want the barn doors. They're more useful.
Mark says, almost looks like the rear doors are fabricated from a toolbox company.
They they were fabricated by the conversion company, so they had to make them fit. There's not going to be perfect fitment on any of these carryalls because they were made to order.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have somebody could order a passenger vehicle with the barn doors, and then the next one is going to be, let's say, a truck that picks up stray dogs, and it has a completely full lift up gate. So just whatever the person ordered is what they built on these trucks, which makes it hard to find parts now because you can find 5 different carryalls of the same year and they're from 5 different conversion companies, and the rear doors don't fit one to the next to the next to the next. So you better be a fabricator if you want to fix rear doors on one of these.
Mm-hmm. But that makes them special, though.
Yes, but if they get damaged, then
Yeah.
what are you going to do? There's not a lot of fabricators out there anymore. There's parts replacers. That's what they do. They just take a part off, put another part on. Just the parts aren't don't exist. That's all. This one happens to be a Dodge that's on the screen. Even more rare to find a Dodge carryall. This one I think is an 81, 81, 82, something like that with the square headlights. Slant six pulling all that weight. You're not winning any burnout contests with that thing.
Lester says that hot and less hot sounds like the weather I had in Houston, Texas. Yeah, it's basically.
Yeah, that's basically our weather. Although Houston is closer to the state of Chihuahua than it is to us. We're at the edge of the Sonoran Desert, so we share our weather with Phoenix, Arizona, and Nogales, and all of that area.
Jay says, Mrs. Spec, at times I swear English is your first language. Well, I do use it a lot, like pretty much every day. I mean, pretty much all day. Thank you. Mark says probably a 4.10 gear on that Dodge.
Probably, but that just means you're not going on the highway with it, which would be a problem for me.
Mm.
That slant six is going to be screaming. Those are the same kind of gears I have in my '63 Savoy. It's a four something. I don't remember exactly what we counted, but it's not going anywhere near the highway. Not at all.
Lester says Ford Carryall is the most popular brand.
Yes, they made more Fords than anything because Ford offered a V8 engine where Chevy had an inline six and Dodge had the slant six. So of course they
Mm.
people wanted more power to move all that weight and their family and everything else. People talk a lot of stuff about Ford, Chris, Driveway of Misfits, but they're the Mexican 302 is a very very strong engine. There was my neighbor out here in front is rebuilding the engine on a Ford. You even know what that thing is? An Edge?
Mm.
I don't know, some kind of SUV, which would have been junked in the U.S., but he's rebuilding the engine here on it in front of my house, not in front of his house, in front of my house. We've been working on it for a couple of weeks now. Him and a mechanic.
Jay says, "What are the speed limits on the highway? I had 4.56 gears in my 71 Duster. I still took it on the highway, but it screamed.
Yeah, the revs are really high. What are they? 90, 95 or something, or 100?
The
Out in the middle of nowhere, I think it's 100 or 110.
110 is
Yeah,
90 to 110 depending on the area.
yeah. And then when you come into like city area, the areas where there's cross traffic or something, you slow down to 70, which seems like you're not moving when you slow down for,
Kilometers.
yeah, kilometers per hour. When you're down from 110 to 70, it feels like you're not moving anymore.
Yeah. Mark says, my Malibu drag car has a 5.38 gear and I should have gone to a 5.57.
That'll
J,
lift the front wheels off the ground.
Jay says miles per hour, not kilometers. I don't, I can't, um,
Jay, figure 100 kilometers per hour is 60 miles per hour. So figure it that way, give or take, somewhere around there.
Jay says, okay, so 66 miles per hour approximately.
I don't even drive that fast. I don't think even in the what?
Liar.
No, in the 99 Ram Charger, I think the maximum I ever did was 110 passing somebody. Even though it
Mm.
could have gone faster, I just don't drive that fast, no matter
Mm.
what kind of vehicle it is.
Lester says, my Pinto 2.04 speed did 4,000 RPM at 70 miles per hour.
Needed an extra gear. I never thought about that stuff when I was a teenager. I drove my Pintos on the freeway. Although living in Southern California, it was just ingrained in me to avoid the freeways. You take city streets to get across town. So when I moved to Las Vegas, it must have taken me maybe 3 years before I went on the freeway there. There was no traffic on the freeway, but on the highway, I guess, that goes through Vegas, there was no there was no traffic on there, but it was just ingrained in me to never get on a freeway after living in California for so long. But that was nice. Now they built freeways all around a circle around Las Vegas, and then you go to Henderson and all that, and yeah, you can circle the whole of Las Vegas on a freeway. My buddy and I were driving home. He had a house in Henderson. We were driving home, driving towards Henderson, and we saw on the other side of the freeway they were filming something. It was it was this like they were towing this mobile home, and somebody had crashed into the back of it and they were crawling into it and all that. That was the scene that was in Lethal Weapon 3 with when they were doing that scene where they smashed into the mobile home. They were filming it on the other side of the highway while we were driving home that night. They had it all closed off.
Mark says, to convert from kilometers per hour to miles per hour, just multiply by 6 and round up.
Yeah, that's about right.
You need a coffee?
I had my water. I just had my sugar with my gluten-free pancakes. See, something like this carry all, I could get it, take it to my body shop, make those rear doors look perfect, straighten them out, paint them and everything.
Jay says, I rented a Dodge Viper in Las Vegas after winning a hand of poker drive drive it out over the Hoover Dam. Got hit in the head with a rock on I-15 because my head stuck over the windshield. Okay. I was
Well,
like, what?
lucky you didn't hit the windshield of the Viper. You'd have to pay for that.
But his head.
Jay, who did you rent it from? You remember the name of the company? I don't even know if he has. I don't even know if he has Vipers. Dickwad there. Royalty. Royalty. Yeah. Royalty is the company name. Houston is the guy that owns it.
His name is Houston.
Yeah. He's Houston in Las Vegas, and all of his cars have Alaska plates.
Jay says it was right by the Las Vegas Convention Center.
That doesn't help me. I don't know where Houston has his business. He rents Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all that stuff. He has them lined up in front of his in front of his showroom. But he runs them with Alaska plates.
Lester says this should include a helmet with the Viper rental. Yeah, apparently.
When I lived in Las Vegas, I was buying crashed cars and fixing them up and stuff. And every Viper that I saw at the salvage auctions, this is when they had just first came out. Every Viper I saw was broken in half. So I've never had a desire to drive one ever. If it gets into an accident, it's going to break in half.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's a weak car, but it's just that they drive so fast. They have no control, no stability control or anything, and people just lose it. It's a way overpowered car. So I never had a desire to drive one.
Like the Fernando that had the drag racing vehicles, and he told me like if I were ever to drive one, I was like, I've never drive something that requires me to wear a fire resistant suit. I'm fine, thank you. Lester says they should. No, wait, that I already read that one. And Jay says it was like the Las Vegas Exotics or something.
Mm.
Jay says my next door neighbor has a Viper.
Steve Leto has a Viper too,
Mm.
and it's not something that I ever wanted to be around. Never saw the attraction to it, especially for the price.
Hmm.
They came on the lot in what '94 in Vegas at the Dodge store.
I think the like supercar quotations that I was attracted to was the Nissan 350. I think it's called.
That's not a supercar. The 350Z.
Well, that's why I say quotations because
Yeah.
it's not a supercar, but like that's like what the highest thing that I would aim for.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice looking car to me, at least. A lot of people don't like it. Like Mr. Mexican Spec doesn't like it, the look of it, but I like it.
It's a boring car.
Yeah, like for you, I guess, but I like it. Um, Lester says Viper is back on construction. Why breaks in half? I read it
What?
correctly. Viper is back on construction. Why it breaks in half? Question.
Because when you're doing 100 miles an hour and a telephone pole goes through the middle of the car, it breaks in half.
Jay says it's a driver's car. You have to know how to drive them as they can get away from you easily. Carl Shelby special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same kind of idea. Like Steve Leto, the attorney, has in his garage, the Viper, and next to it is the Shelby Cobra replica. He has an automatic in that one, but I have absolutely zero interest in it. When I got to Vegas, I found locally an electric blue 75 Pinto wagon with the 2.8 V6 and an automatic in it. Took it to a mechanic, had little things done. After they checked it over, after I drove it there, I checked it over, and they called me and said, we checked this thing over, and the steering the steering column was held on by a thread of metal, just a thread. It was ready to break. You're lucky you got here. So, yeah, they fixed everything, and I drove that around Vegas for quite a few years.
Jeez. Hey, Chris. Chris says it's like deja vu all over again.
Deja vu.
Say hi to Chris.
Hello, Chris. Did you get my email this time?
Jay says, did you take it to Count's Customs?
He didn't exist at the time. He wasn't there. He was on TV as Count whatever, but he didn't have a shop at the time.
Lester says, when I first saw the Viper in person, I was surprised how wide and low it was.
Yeah, but it has so much power. And an idiot with a lot of money buys it and just destroys it. As we were buying cars, it was like the middle of the 90s, so the cars were only 2 or 3 years old, and every one of them I saw was so badly damaged. There's no way that people survived in it. So, no thanks.
Okay, I have a question. What is your your dream car?
1957 Continental Mark II.
Continental Mark II.
But I would never buy one to drive around in Mexico.
No, I guess not. What are you guys' dream car? I would like to know. I have a dumb answer because my car is um not really Jay says Lamborghini Aventador. Oh,
Lamborghini.
oh, I'm sorry, Lamborghini.
That's a hard G.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chris says 1998 Daihatsu. How do you say that? Charade?
Charade.
Okay, sorry. Chris says
You got my email.
He did got the email. Must be a horrible lonely weekend if you want to talk to us twice in one weekend.
It's not that, Chris. It's that everybody in the that we know is at the No Name National, so nobody else is doing lives. So it's all mine. It's all my weekend. It's all mine.
Jay says my son loves the Daihatsu.
Mm-hmm. They were new when I was in Vegas buying and selling cars. I remember the dealership that was on Tropicana Avenue in front of one of our customers' dealerships. The little Charade and the Rocky, the 4-wheel drive. You don't see the Rockies around anymore.
Chris says I was joking about the Daihatsu. Okay, I don't know.
Are you sure you don't want a Pontiac Le Mans from 1988? Are you sure? You can go from Daihatsu to Daewoo. What a crappy car that was. Where I was just telling this on Steve Lato's live. When I about halfway through my second year working at the Chevy dealer, the owner also owned a Pontiac store. He sold the Pontiac store in Glendale, California, and the new owner says, "Okay, I want this car, this car, this car, and get rid of all of those," which were Pontiac Le Manses, any cars that had any miles on them because they weren't new cars, demos or returns or whatever. So a whole bunch of these Pontiac Le Manses came over onto my used car lot, and I had to do something with them.
Jay says Tropicana. I took a picture of a car accident on that road that flipped on its roof.
A lot of bad drivers. All of the bad drivers in the United States and Canada come to Las Vegas.
Chris says, I don't have a single dream car, but I wouldn't mind a 71 Plymouth Satellite Sebring or an MK2 Volkswagen Sirocco.
Mark II Scirocco.
Okay, Mark.
There is one of those here. There's a Scirocco. No, it was the Dasher. The Dasher is here. I've seen a few Scirocco's.
My dream car would be the Cadillac Sweet 16, although it's not a real car. But if it's a real car, then it will have to be the Chrysler 300C. I really like that car. Lester says, did you see Bob's video of Jamie and friends doing an ending song at the Non Nationals?
I haven't seen any videos of the No Name Nationals today.
So no spoilers today?
No, I haven't seen any of them. I'm sure they'll pop up in my feed. I know that Jamie lost in the Triple Crown. He lost to a brown Malibu. So all that work he did on the car. And Lester, this is what I was telling the live yesterday, that Jamie was working on his race car, and then he worked on another car the next day, another car the next day to make videos, and then an engine on for Wednesday, and then another, and then he come back to his race car. The people that he was racing against were working for the last 300 days on that one race car to get it ready for the race. So he's racing against people that put so much time that they were definitely going to win against him. Although he had more money than any of them to do it.
Chris says, I've not seen any videos of the Northern Nationals, so you're giving me spoilers. Pit Sniper's here. Pit Snipe Husker, sorry, Pit Sniper.
Hey, how you doing?
Will the Trill is also here.
Hello, Will.
Jay says, I bought a Volkswagen Fox Master cylinder and installed it in my son's Porsche 924 when he had it.
Buy the cheapest part. When I worked for the first dealer I ever worked for, I was 16 years old, and we had to bring cars back to the lot and stuff. And their boss took me out and gave me the keys to a Porsche 924. Said, "Hey, bring this back to the lot." I thought it was a special car and everything, and I didn't know that it was just a Volkswagen. The same thing as a Volkswagen. But it did have pop-up headlights, so I did enjoy playing with those.
Will the Drill says, I'm loving that Dodge Start Magnum.
Magnum in quotes.
Quotations.
Because it has a slant 6 under the hood.
Lester says, you kept reminding everyone time was running out.
On what?
I don't know.
On the No Name Nationals?
Oh, yeah.
I kept. Now, I'll admit, Gray, that Buff and Kim got to the race fine. Their cars did. The monkey bike that she built blew up, but
spoilers.
Whatever. The cars made it. Now we have to see if they make it back.
Yeah, with no incidents.
And I don't think Buff is going to be flipping anybody off this year.
I hope not. I hope it's okay. Jay says the 924 was essentially a Volkswagen.
Yep.
Fitz Knife says, all good, Spec. My Husker had a bad day yesterday, so I'm pretty hungover. Still pouting low. I'm really sorry to hear that. Drink plenty of water and take some rest. Chris says the 914 was basically a Volkswagen, not the 924.
The 924 was as well, Chris. It's just your basic 4-cylinder under the hood. Nothing real special about it.
Mark Sobe says to Chris, the video posted from Buff del Campo with Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage singing away at Non-NNN Nationals was pretty good.
Jamie supposedly is in a band.
Chris says to Mark, I don't subscribe to Buff, so I haven't seen it. Jay says, sorry, so you're just saying hello. I had to read the messages before I started saying that. Really, I do. Okay. And Will the Trail says, have you seen any Mexican Spec 302 blocks for sale?
Well, I don't look for engines for sale because you're not going to know the condition of it. So
Yeah.
you probably have to buy the whole car, import the whole car, switch the engine out for an American 302, resell the car, and keep the engine.
Yeah, tell them that time that you went to see an engine. I think it was for the Dart, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was for the 74 Dart, 75 Dart coupe that I bought. Bought the car. The mechanic, I brought the mechanic with me. He driving it to his house. Something happened in the engine, and the push rod's bent. So we were deciding, are we going to rebuild the engine we have, or my buddy says, hey, I know this guy that has an engine for sale. So we go out there. It's a slant six that's sitting on the ground, and even though it's usually hot here, it does in the wintertime. You get condensation and stuff.
It
So
does rain.
I asked the guy, how do I know the engine's any good? And he got all pissed off and threw us out of the place.
Yeah.
So we rebuilt the engine that we had.
The engine was uncovered, just sitting there on the
Yeah, just
ground.
sitting on the ground. Oh, I completely rebuilt this engine. Yeah, well, sorry if I don't believe that.
Yeah. You
I'm
can't just
not going
trust
to put
it.
it in the car and then find out that it's all rusted inside
Mm-hmm.
for what he wanted for it.
Lester says, Buff said not to Kentucky this year.
Kentucky.
Mm. Kentucky Fried Chicken? I don't know. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Business says, thank you. It's my own fault. Um, Chris says, sorry, Jay says, I disagree, Chris, that 924 was designed for Volkswagen and the design was bought back from Volkswagen.
Same company.
Hmm. Lester says, the 914 with the 6 was the one to have.
Yeah. Five lug wheels I learned on Dennis Collins' channel. That's how you tell them apart. The 6 cylinder has the 5 lug wheels on them.
Chris says, I just looked it up. Wasn't aware of the 924 being a Volkswagen, only knew about the 914. No, on gummies.
Right there.
On a Chrysler 200C. Bisnipe says, I would never build an engine that wasn't completely blueprinted and documented if I expected to sell it. I wouldn't have touched it either, Spec.
There was just too many red flags,
Yeah.
and you add that to the guy's attitude. And my buddy Gustavo seemed a little upset about it, and I asked him, "Are you upset at me or upset at him?" Because
Yeah.
I don't know. He says, "No, I'm upset at him. How could he? It was just a question. You want to know if you're buying a good engine." He gets upset at that, which was the biggest red flag there was.
Mm-hmm.
Just believe me and give me money and get out of here. No, sorry, that ain't gonna happen. It ended up okay. We rebuilt the engine. It cost like $500 or whatever to rebuild it, and it was done.
I was born at
Changing the parts that needed to change.
I was born at night, but not last night.
Yeah, I was not born at night, but okay.
I was.
I got to get back in touch with the owner, with the guy that wants this Bronco, this Blazer. Although it's way down there in Veracruz, that is going to be a long haul to drive that thing back.
I have people in Veracruz.
Oh, okay. Now I understand, Gray.
Stop reading my messages.
Pops up here.
Too bad.
He
They're my messages. Would you read the message to the rest of the group?
It's gone. It only pops up on the screen for a second.
Lester says, Buff said he wouldn't drive in Kentucky this year. That's where the crash was last year. Oh, okay.
So there's different ways he can get from Tennessee to the race. Or they're going
Bitsnap,
out of their way.
I guess. Bitsnap says, I like that gorgeous color.
The red. Not a bad price either. And we all know what 4-wheel drive Blazers sell for. Square body Blazers sell for. Still got the original radio in it, and the air works apparently. But of course, it was imported. It's not a Mexican vehicle.
Hmm.
But it would be a long haul. from there to back here. The red looks weird on that pink house.
Yeah.
They clash.
I think the camera is picking up the colors weirdly. Look at that green.
Yeah.
It's like,
This truck has been sale for quite a long time, and the only issue is that in Veracruz they're right at the ocean. That's
yeah.
that's where the port is, where ships come in and load up vehicles and take off to Florida. So that's what we would have to look at, underneath. But it seems to run well and everything. It starts right up. But I have to get back in touch with that client. I had 3 clients that asked for Beetles, the newest I could get, the 2000 models and everything. So I made a list. One of the clients wanted a white one so he could recreate a green and white taxi from Mexico City. So then this guy sends me a bunch of links of cars he wants to know the prices on, but some of them are red, some are blue. If I would have known he wanted colors, I have other ones that I could put on the list.
mm-hmm.
But I think he expects me. He says, "Well, how much to deliver it? What's your fee to deliver it?" Well, it's not that simple. I have to
Yeah.
travel to the vehicle. I have to do everything there. I have to have it transported back. I have to get back. Then I have to trailer it to the border. So I don't know. I sent the emails out, and in 3 days, nobody's answered.
Yeah.
So
Chris Knife says, "Ooh, the original clunky button radio noise. I
yeah.
like this age we live in where I can leave a stock radio in place and Bluetooth music." Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Spec likes that too, but I like the original radio in the dash, exactly where it was designed to be.
Well, that's what the speaker is for.
Well, yeah, but I like the way that is, and to see a K5 Blazer like this that still has the original radio in there that nobody over the last 40 years or 50 years has taken it out is a miracle.
Yeah. Jay says, Mrs. Beck, what saying in English have tripped you up after reading them? Or what saying did you take literally before knowing what it was? Um, Miss, Mr. Speck said it yesterday, something about eating crow. I still don't know what it means. He wouldn't explain, but he was saying he was eating crow, and I was like, what does that mean? Why would you eat crow?
Most of us use phrases like that without knowing where they came from. We just use them. It means that I was wrong and I'm eating my words. I was wrong with what I said.
Mm.
Buff and Kim did get to the race. 3-hour drive.
There's only a couple of sayings that are weird. I can't think of any besides that one right now.
She's asked me about sayings in Spanish, and I have no clue how they came up with that or what it means or anything either.
It has more meaning in Spanish. No.
To you, maybe.
No, but I mean, it has like the history. Gearhead is here. It says nice.
Hey, Gearhead, welcome back.
Chris says, I bet the Beetle guy was thinking he'd get a sweet bug for like $2,000.
Well, he sent me the links, which means he saw the prices. And he's like, oh, well, that's only $6,000 or whatever. Yeah, but that doesn't include me getting on a plane and flying to Mexico City, doing what I need to do there
Replace tires if
with
need be.
hotels and food and taking the Uber out to the car, having a towing company come and pick it up, deliver it to the transport company, and then I have to get home. So that's another 8,000 on the airplane, 8,000 pesos to get back home. Then when it gets delivered here, I have to put it on a trailer, which means I have to rent the trailer, gasoline and tolls all the way to the border. Then it costs me
Yeah.
gasoline and tolls all the way back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of expenses that are incurred in getting these cars to the border, to here, and then to the border.
Y los viáticos.
Yeah, people don't figure that in. Oh well, they
How do you
only
say
want
that?
$6,000 for the car.
How do you say that?
Travel expenses.
Okay, travel expenses. What is it? Is it travel expenses? No,
The,
viáticos is food.
that's all. It's all included. It's
Okay.
everything. What is viaje? That's travel.
Yeah.
Travel expenses.
Yeah, but well, I guess. Pitsnipe says, I have made so many messes of those Chevy dashboards. Lol. I should stay under the hood. Chris says, eating crow means admitting you were wrong.
Mhm.
Well, now I know.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but I mean, like, now I know. Yesterday
Oh,
you said it, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Sorry, sorry. No, I'm not cursing. Uh, Jay,
we can curse. There's no kids allowed here,
Jay says, that means you're
except
eating
for
your
mine.
words. Yeah, but why would you eat your words by meaning eating crow? Like, doesn't mean,
When we're
well,
done with this, you can look it up on the computer.
well, it just, well, anyway. Lester says, I would like a 1965 Coupe de Ville like my aunt had. Big Cadillac, in my opinion. Mm.
Very big side marker lights on that one.
What about the Electra?
The Electra 225.
Chris says, that's a nice bug.
Yeah, it was very bright red.
Jay says, you can get an FM Bluetooth transmitter. Yeah? Or if it has a cassette, you can get a cassette thingy. I don't know what it's called.
This ambulance would be an interesting vehicle to get rid of all the ambulance stuff and put all your tools in the back and everything, a trailer on it, and this is what you take out to go pick up vehicles. You have cabinets and everything in the back to store your tools, your jacks and everything.
Alan
Have to
Travis
put a
here.
decent in. Hello, Olive. Thank you for coming. Are we all bored on Sunday?
Pitstime says, I would tend to agree, Lester, though my uncle spent years building a perfect 59 Cadillac. It was so cool.
I had a 59 Cadillac. I'm not a fan.
Why?
Oh, this is the Mustang I was talking about yesterday.
Mm.
That's all dirty. This is how they took the pictures to sell it. Everything is dirty. Everything. Under the hood, the whole interior is just covered in dust and dirt.
I thought you didn't put the pictures up because of that.
No, I didn't publish them.
Oh.
The blue one, the person just said, "Hey, I'm sorry for the delay." They sent me a bunch of pictures and stuff. That rust on the side of it, on the corner of the engine.
I don't know. You have to point closer for me to know.
They don't even take the things out of the back seat to let you see the upholstery. And look at how dirty the front seat is.
Yeah.
All of that dirt. They just left it all in there and took pictures.
Looks like the windows were down on.
Yeah, they didn't even clean up the car to try to sell it. And the paint needs to be buffed.
You could, like, if you didn't have time, you could have just taken a rag and take the dust layers off of it.
But that's how much they care about. And then I started looking closely, and they painted the instruments red and stuff. So no, I don't want to publish that car. If somebody asks me about it, then I'll contact the person. But
no. Yeah. Jay says, Lester, I had a 1964 sedan DeVille, like the one from Catch Me If You Can. Gearhead says, the 59 is the nicest car GM has ever made, in my opinion.
to look at, maybe.
Olive says, ooh, I like the ambulance.
Got a lot of potential, Olive.
And Jay says, Mustang too.
Mm-hmm. I gave away my 59 Cadillac to the Andeville, to the head of the Cadillac Club. I gave him that, and I gave him a 59 Hearse.
But why though?
I was just fed up with it.
Was,
The gear shift lever.
and here I thought you were being nice.
No, the gear shift lever. It's sheared off the side of the transmission, so there was no way to move it into any gears. The transmission had to be taken out and all redone and everything. And no, I was done with it.
Pitsnipe says, I have done the FM transmitter in my service truck years back. These days, in a classic, I just install a Bluetooth receiver under the seat, direct to an amp. But again, I'm not an audio guy. And Jay agrees with that. That I have a portable speaker, and I don't mess with the radios because I don't know if it works, and even if it kind of works, the speakers might be old, so you might bust the speakers if you try to play them. So I just don't mess with them. I try I rather have my phone and my portable speaker, and that's it.
And it lasts long enough. for the trip.
Yeah. Olive says, I don't mind seeing the dirt, but probably don't deliver it that way. Mex knows I like to think about camping slash mobile shop conversions.
Right, Olive, but you have to wonder how the car was taken care of all that time if that's how they're gonna present it for sale. I mean, there's gonna be stuff hidden underneath
Yeah.
because they didn't care about the car. So that's
I
not the car you want to
I
buy.
guess there's both sides of sellers, like the sellers that show you the car without even like washing it, and the cars that the sellers that show you the car literally in a puddle of water that they just washed the
Yeah.
car.
Well, it's not like they're asking, like 2,000 pesos for it. They want 100,000 pesos for that car, which is top dollar for a car like that,
Yeah.
and they don't even wipe the interior down.
Mhm.
So those are not the kind of people I want to deal with as sellers. I'd
Yeah.
rather not.
It just spells trouble.
Yes, because they're gonna have that kind of attitude.
Fitzknife says, my uncle was going blind. I think he only rode in his caddy a few times before dealing it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dealing it,
Yeah, dealing it.
selling it.
Maybe. But it says dealing it. Should have bought it for him and rode him around in the Cadillac.
Drove them around.
Yeah. Olive says, exactly, Mex. I want to see that. Anyone can clean it up for the first time in its life to try to fool you.
No, obviously on that car the interior's been done. They did some engine work and stuff. But if that's how they're going to take care of the car, you never know what you're going to find.
What color is that?
That's root beer brown.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's reflecting the yellow on the street there.
Yeah, but it's so nice.
I'm waiting for a guy to get back to me on that one.
Olive says, doesn't look like a good car though. Jay says, if you get an email from me about canned meat, don't open it. It's spam.
I avoid all kinds of spam, including the meat, Jay. I bought it once at the store. I just could not bring myself to open the can.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
Jose bought it a lot. I don't
I
know why
know
you
that.
never
I
tried it.
know he ate it a lot, but
You had
that's the kind of family he was from.
yeah, but you had the chance to try it.
I know, and I would not do it.
Mm, Gearhead says a shiny shit, probably. Bitsnipe says yes, Misfit. Pretty crappy. Many are only mono, but in a service van slash truck that I didn't own, it was a good enough. I listened to AM Sports Talk on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Olive says root beer bug.
It's a very nice car, 1972. The last year for the turn signals on top of the fenders in Mexico.
Bitsnipe says that looked like a root beer candy, hard candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the color. Bitsnipe says mine melt drab low. Um, Jay says it's popular in Hawaii for some reason, and I'm not joking. Spam?
Oh,
Yeah, no, I think I've heard of that. That
well, it's
it's
probably because I don't know. Maybe they don't have enough livestock to feed everybody
probably.
because they're an island.
Yeah. Gearhead says fried in brown sugar and butter served with eggs only. Otherwise, spam is gross.
Not joking.
Mm. Olive says I kind of like the spam with bacon on it. Now you're just making me curious to try it. I tried, but
It's not cheap. It's
I
not cheap here.
mm,
It's, you figure something like that would be cheap. That's why people buy it and eat it. But
I've tried
no, it's
worse
not cheap.
things. I've eaten the gluten.
Yeah. So have I. So have we.
Yeah, when?
We bought it a couple of times here
When?
when we didn't have much money.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Business says I love spam. Fried spam, peanut butter, and dill pickle sandwiches. Sandwiches are my favorite.
Talk about a nice car. Look at this Datsun 510.
Oh.
Beautiful, inside and out.
Jay says, "Now I want to try it." Yeah, I know, right? I. Why were you talking about
You
spam
guys
if
are
you
such
never
bad
tried?
influence on Jay.
Gearhead says our Asian market has like 15 different varieties. Oh,
Mhm. I don't want to know what the varieties are.
probably with like different like chilies and stuff like that. Mark Sobe says my mom used to buy something similar to spam called Click. I liked it.
All we had is bologna in the house. And if I never have another piece of bologna, it'll be too soon.
I don't like bologna. Driveway says I've never had spam and never will. Olive says it's not cheap, but you can keep it around for a long time for when you run out of other stuff. Mm-hmm. Bitsnipe says I'll just chop cold spam and eat it on the crackers with cheese and pickles, dipped in horseradish sauce. Bachelor of food. Mhm.
Whatever works.
Mark Sobe says I had a 73 510. It was ready for the scrapyard. And then
But
says
I bet it was a two-door. We didn't get two doors here. We only have the four-door sedan and the four-door wagon.
Mark says I prefer much mock chicken over bologna. Bologna?
Mock chicken?
I think that's what he
Like
said.
fake chicken?
Jay says fried bologna,
Bologna.
bologna and onions. I love them.
Never thought to fry it. It was just on the sandwich.
Gearhead says fried bologna sandwiches with pickles and cheese are so good. Why are we talking about food now? I'm hungry. Olive says places like Hawaii and Okinawa had a lot of spam, so learn to cook it fancy too. I guess.
Maybe it was left over from the military there. They just
Mm.
they just got used to it. Now it's tradition. I don't know.
Bitsnap says frying bologna is kind of magic. Why are we talking about food? Here, I'm gonna go get a snack.
Earhead.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Probably a good idea if I turn the microphone on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. I might have been covering the. I'm holding her phone, but now I turn my microphone on, which I forgot to do. Hit snipe. You know, in the 90s, I was a contractor in the Fremont, Nebraska Hormel plant. Tens of thousands of square feet full of spam. I smelled like a smokehouse for a week after I worked in. I do not envy you. Earhead. Nice Mustang if you like Mustangs. This is a copy of a Carroll Shelby car called the Black Hornet, I think. You can look it up, and it's got the 428 under the hood. It's got the Shelby tail on it. It's got everything. But the guy, I asked him questions because I'd love to sell that to Dennis Collins. Back now. Great. Great. Now we hear you. I guess I was covering up the microphone with my hands. Olive. Now there's an interior in that Mustang. Good, we're back. That was my mistake. I don't know where the microphone is on her phone, but I think I was covering it up because she's using her phone to look at the comments, and my phone is up on a stand, up on a tripod, recording the pictures. So yeah, this is a gorgeous '68 Galaxy Fastback. Somebody did a lot of work on this thing. Wish Hormel would bring back their Sizzler's breakfast sausage. Gearhead. I don't even think we have Hormel products in Mexico. Paint is killer. That's right, Gearhead. And it's got the horseshoe shifter. So great. Beautiful car. Not cheap though. They want lots of money for it. Odd wheels for the choice, but as a choice, but that can be fixed. People want big money here for one of those that's in really bad condition. You have to do all the work. So I've never really offered one for sale. There's no reasonable prices on them. There's a lot of Ford station wagons here. 64, 63, 62, 66. Look at the tailgate on this truck when it comes around. This is the name that they put on the back of them in Mexico, showing you it's Mexican made. That'd be an interesting truck to import into the US. What is Automex? Where'd they get that tailgate? Decent looking truck though. Probably got some rust underneath, but it can all be fixed. Barracuda. Can't beat that red interior. Lipstick red interior. We lost the sound for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. Weird.
What about because I turned off my phone, my microphone?
I didn't have mine on.
Oh. Maybe because of that.
Maybe that's why.
Oops, sorry.
That's a lot of red. That's right, Gearhead, but you gotta love it. Colors make life interesting, which means today's cars are not interesting. They're all low tones of gray and black and silver. Not interesting at all.
Now I have some mango to eat while you guys talk about food.
You notice this is a weird column shifted automatic Barracuda 65.
Chris says nobody's favorite color is gray. Oh, you'd be surprised.
I like gray t-shirts, but I don't like it anywhere else.
It's called millennial gray, and it's all the rage.
You know, when people see a new car or a new truck in battleship gray, I don't understand how they fawn all over it. Oh, what a beautiful color on that vehicle. It does absolutely nothing for any vehicle, which was the point of painting battleships gray.
Use cheap color?
No, they wanted it to blend in. That was the color to blend in so you don't see the body lines and everything else. Nothing catches your attention.
Gearhead says, and they are all starting to become indistinguishable from each other.
I can't tell them apart. And I used to be able to tell you what each and every vehicle on the road was. I just can't.
Fitzknife says, my dad had an 85 Silverado in charcoal gray and a silver. I like that gray.
Yeah, the charcoal gray, the BMW anthracite is good color. But the lighter gray, the battleship gray, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, charcoal gray and silver.
Yeah. The color, most of those were two-toned.
Yeah. Mark Sobes says, be right back dealing with dogs.
Lots of dogs.
Yep.
See, this is the truck we were going to go look at in Querétaro. But we just didn't get a chance. If we would have bought the first one we went to look at, we could have gone. And the second one we went to look at, we could have gone. And the third one we went to look at, we could have gone. And the one we went to look at but didn't get to look at, we could have gone. But no, we had to leave on a bus. We should have gone to Querétaro on the bus first. Gone to look at that, recorded everything, and then headed on to. But I don't like to go look at cars with our suitcases with us.
No.
Not a good look.
Gearhead says Chevy gunmetal gray was a nice shade.
It looked good on the trucks. A friend of mine in high school built himself a 73 regular cab short bed I don't have to say regular cab on the square body, but regular cab short bed. He painted it the dark gray, blue interior, raised it a little bit. It was a 2-wheel drive, but he raised it, put nice wheels on it and stuff. And the truck looked really good. It looks really good on the square body.
Pitsnipe says we painted a couple cars in the navy haze gray, battleship gray. Hey, the paint was free.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. But people pay to have that paint put on cars. And when they buy a new car, they pay for that paint.
Jay says, do you have Uber in Mexico? We do have Uber, but we're not in all of the states and all the cities. And there's some rules to it. Like in Monterrey, you cannot have Uber inside the airport for some dumb reason.
And you want me to make you jealous, Jay? It cost us about 50 pesos to drive across town in an Uber.
Yeah.
A little bit more than $2.50.
Your head says CMX, the OBS with the launch kits. The launch kits.
What's a lung kit?
I don't know. Oops, sorry. Pitsnipe says they look like crap.
With the Battleship Gray on it? Yeah.
Yeah. Olive says, Pitsnipe, a friend and I contemplated using battleship paint on a big old Pontiac wagon. I figured I could put bit Navy ship numbers on there. Pitsnipe says that paint was bulletproof though. Mm-hmm.
Was that tested?
Was it this? Yeah.
Mm.
Gearhead says moon visors and razorbacks.
Mm.
Lester says, I like great paint. It matches my name. Ooh. Fair enough.
Dark gray, yes, but I don't know about the lighter gray on cars.
The silver.
No, silver is silver, but the gray, the what do they call that gray that keep putting on cars?
Mm.
You see a Lamborghini and that looks so good. It doesn't. I can't remember the name of the gray.
Pitsnap says, I like that idea, Drab. Pointing the not navy numbers, shoe
Yeah,
numbers.
like it used to be a Navy car. If anybody wants to build a NASCAR tribute, the 62 Savoy is still for sale. 2-door sedan is what they used on NASCAR. It's the same one that I showed in the 2 lives ago, but now they painted it with red primer or flat red or whatever it is.
That looks clean.
It's a nice, very nice car, but they want like 500,000 pesos for it. So it's gonna be theirs for a long time.
Pitsnap says nowadays they got that putty gray. I don't get it either. Spec.
Yeah, I can't remember the name for it. Not Dove Gray. Can't remember the name.
Olive says that big wagon was another mobile workshop idea. The gas mileage was just ruinous, but I could have put cabinets back there. And Gearhead likes that wagon.
Yeah, very clean.
Yeah.
With all the trim on it and everything. The trim between the taillights. Very hard to find that piece. The perfect tow vehicle, I'm going to tell you, everybody can steal my idea. And the box ambulance with the Ford front end and the 7.3 liter diesel, it could run forever. And like I said before, you can put all of your tools and everything in the back of the vehicle. It has the roof lights all around the ambulance, on all sides of the ambulance. You change the red out for white, plus you have spotlights up there. So if you're recovering a car at night, you turn on all of your roof lights and it lights the place up like daytime, and you could do whatever you need to do on the car and load it up on the trailer. It's the perfect vehicle for recovering vehicles. You get decent decent fuel mileage with the diesel, and it'll run forever.
Olive says that Pontiac had a 455. I couldn't afford to feed it.
Yeah.
Business says love those Catalina wagons with the 455.
They do use a lot of fuel, but they were designed to take big families to Magic Mountain and Disneyland and Six Flags parks.
What is Park Jellystone? Not Yellowstone. Jellystone.
It's where two bears live in cartoons.
So it's not real?
No.
I'm gonna have to ask her what she's talking about then.
Cool.
This woman that makes videos and she's like she said she went to Park Jellystone with the kids. And I was like, I know Yellowstone. I mean not know it, but like I know about Yellowstone, but I don't know
It's not real.
Jellystone.
It's not real.
Maybe she meant Yellowstone and she was just calling it Jellystone. I don't know. Gearhead says all and pull campers.
Yep.
Olive says, I was suggesting Kim put all kinds of lights around the roof of her yard, Bronco, for similar reasons, Max.
She's going to need a really good battery and a bigger alternator to power them all, though. Because it'll drain the battery like quick.
Bitsnipe says, that's from a yoga cartoon, Mrs. Beck.
Uh-huh.
There is Yogi Amusement Park. There is Yogi Amusement Park? But does it exist or is it in a cartoon? Olive says Jellystone is or was Yogi Bear theme camp. Yellowstone was the real one. I guess she was calling Yellowstone Jellystone as playing words, maybe. But she did went to a camp. Like I saw the pictures and stuff.
You saw pictures?
Yeah.
Was it like a cartoon thing or was
No,
it?
what's
Okay,
real?
well then.
Or I don't know what Jellystone was. Maybe it was a real place. I don't know. I'm not American. Gearhead says tourist traps.
And they do trap all your money.
Bitsnipe says it exists, Mrs. Beck. It exists? Jellystone?
Now you have two things to look up after the live.
Okay, I don't know. She went to
start making a list of everything you have to look up.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a pen. What was the other
Does
thing?
anybody want a Chevy carry-all passenger vehicle, square body? This one's still available, still advertised. They just love the '90s directional wheels here. There's the one that the '90 Ford that I'm publishing today has these exact same wheels on it.
Olive says Yogi Bear's fictional national park was an area was called Jellystone. Years later, someone made a theme park named after that camp place, a cartoon place. But is it like a theme park with like games only? Because she went camping. There was
that was probably Yellowstone.
There was cabins. She went to a cabin.
I don't know.
Barracuda's here. Hey Barracuda.
Hey Barry. Welcome.
He says I preferred Quick Draw
McGraw.
Okay. Fitsnipe says yes. Yellowstone Park is a yogi themed Hanna-Barbera small amusement park. There's a few, I think. One is in South Dakota.
Nobody wants to go to South Dakota.
Anybody
wants a Dodge carry-all passenger vehicle, this is it. It's a 78 with the big turn signals and a tin grill.
Gearhead says conversion van back window.
On this has got a tailgate.
And he says South Dakota is right pit. Not the pit sniper. Always says, yeah, Yellowstone camps have camping areas. Yellowstone is the big real national park. The cartoon was just playing with the name of the real one.
And confusing kids for 50 years.
Confusing me as well. Jay says there are a bunch of Yellowstone campgrounds in Western New York. I don't know where she's from.
I bet they didn't pay to use that name.
Gearhead says Mount Rushmore, Deadwood, and the parks for the kids. I don't know, but she went camping.
Deadwood
That's all
was
I
in South
know.
Dakota.
That's all I know. What is it? What was the other thing I had to look up?
Eating crow, where it comes from.
No, well, you are.
Well, it tells you what it means, not where it came from.
Hmm. Jay says it's a franchise, and Fitzknife says, "I missed the Deadwood series. Sad."
That was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Gotta have Kragers. If you have a Dodge Carrier, you gotta have Kragers.
Lester says, "Why do they like such big rear side windows?"
That's just what they put in there. That's what the original owner ordered when he ordered that truck. It was a family vehicle. Not too many of them around. Very few Dodges. Very, very few.
Jay says, "Girls are smart birds, equivalent to a 7-year-old child." Yeah, I know they're smart.
So that means they're not too smart.
Well, smarter than all the birds.
I
They
know
recognize
Adam Carolla is
faces.
always talking about training crows. You can train crows to do lots of things for
Mm-hmm.
protection, for all kinds of things.
Jay says, "I don't like big rears." Mm,
We'll leave that to interpretation.
yes. Olive says, "I like big trunks and I cannot lie." Mm. I want to open this. Mm.
This number 38.
Eh?
This number 38
Of?
on my list.
No sé.
Yes, number 38.
Fitzknife says, "The crows used to break into my grandpa's tractor to get to the cans of peanuts he carried around. They're cold but totally mean sometimes. Totally menaces sometimes."
Well, you better do what they want.
Olive says, "I like crows a lot. Oddly, they have a whole different language in the southeast compared to everywhere else." Ooh. And Barry says, "Holy crow." I can't put this.
Looks like, is that a crow?
Ay, me asustaste. Me asustaste. I have access to my gummies. Where crow?
I don't have
Les-
glasses on. So.
Lester says, "Anyone remember Heckle and Jekyll?"
Yes, those were magpies. I don't know what the difference between a magpie and a crow is, but they were magpies.
Doesn't matter you if you hear that. If they hear that.
I think Chris said the same thing.
Yeah, Olive. Olive says, "Yeah, Lester thought they were magpies."
Chris said the same thing.
Mm. His Snipe says, "Yup, Lester. I think they got cancelled quotations along with Song of the South." Your microphone. He'll be right back. Lester says, "My bad. Sorry." They're still small birds. Magpies are also smart birds. Olive says, actually, Heckle and Jekyll were British, but maybe someone translated them.
How could you tell they were British?
British
Yellow
cartoon?
beaks?
British cartoon?
I don't know. They always sounded American to me.
Well, translated them.
Not translated, just dubbed.
Like-
You don't translate English
I
to English.
know. That's what I meant. Chris says, gotta head out. About time for dinner. See most of you in a few hours.
Okay, Chris. Hopefully Tony will be on. I don't know if Jamie will be on.
And you're gonna have spam?
Sure he's out on the highway doing something. They're having dinner. They're having a potluck dinner at No Name Nationals probably right now.
Tony?
No, all the people at No Name Nationals.
Mm.
See how that works out. It's an experiment they're doing.
Olive says, dub might be the better word, but I think they were originally English country characters.
I don't know. They didn't explain that to us when we were kids.
Mm. I just remember that very recently I realized why the dragonfly on the cartoon spit fire.
Because it's a dragon.
Because it's a dragon.
Fly.
But in Spanish, it's not called a dragonfly.
Yeah.
So I was like, why would a libélula spit fire?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it makes no sense.
In the 70s and probably early 80s, my parents were in a CB club, I guess, and they would have, I guess it would be coffee now, but it was a place that they got together. And June Foray was one of the people that was in that group. And if you know that name, she was a voice artist for a lot of the classic cartoons that we all know. A lot of the classic cartoon characters that we all know. She was very heavily into that.
Chris says, dinner at Nano Nationals is spam and chocolate churros. That doesn't seem really tasty.
Just throw them all in the microwave and see what happens.
Oh, no. You.
Hey, that's got the IGA toolbox under the hood. Which one?
I don't know.
I don't either. Which one is this? I mean, they repainted and everything. That no.
Fitzknife says, I had to check. I was wrong. I was thinking of the crows from Song of the South. Heckle and Jekyll were on the same show as Mighty Mouse in the late 70s.
Yep. Is this number 38 again?
You're asking the wrong person.
I'm not asking anybody. I'm asking the screen. I don't remember 38 having that toolbox under the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being an IGA truck. Somebody went through the trouble of painting the toolbox red and stenciling the letters. Yes, it is. Number 38. Okay.
It has a little house on the dash.
What?
It has a little house on the dash.
Yeah, probably comes with it. Speaker's gone out of the door. Fortunately, a guy went to look at it. Said the paint isn't as nice as it looks like in the pictures and the videos.
Mm. You can see that the pictures are altered by the reflections.
I don't really like the seats in it. I don't like the way they redid the seats. It's very cheap material.
Mm.
It could be much nicer. It'd be a nice one to drive back.
Does he have a seatbelt?
No,
Why not?
because
No
they did
fair.
everything, but they didn't think about that.
Oh, that's nice. Bitsnap says, I'm jealous, misfits. Oh, from the spam and chocolate churros?
Why are these on here twice?
Alright.
I don't either. I don't know. It's a box on wheels. What it is.
Bitsnap says, red bus.
And it is a short bus.
Es,
It's very short.
stop it. Stop making fun of it.
The guy that looked at it was thinking, okay, I can do this. I can buy it for this, blah blah blah, and then somebody will pay me like 17,000 in the U.S. once I get it there with the title and everything. But he didn't like the way the paint is starting to bubble and stuff like that. So he passed on it.
Bitsnap says, wear your helmet
Cool.
on the short bus.
Oh,
Bitsnap said. Oliver says, if I was buying most of the seats, wouldn't matter. A few captain's chair style may be easier to get into the back. Oh, so if I was buying, most of the seats wouldn't matter. A few
mm,
captain's chair style maybe easier to get into the back.
yeah. But then you reduce how many people you can carry.
Lester says, it's the box it came in.
I
Mark,
think this one coming up is an interesting truck because it's basically a Bronco panel truck, and it
the
would
windows are painted?
it's not windows, it's metal.
Ah,
It's a panel truck,
it looks like the
but
windows.
it looks like a Bronco. So you whoever paints their company name on the side and on the door and everything, would really get a lot of attention for their business. It'd be really neat. It can be painted any color you want, any color combination, but it's a really neat body style.
Mark is back.
Hi, Mark.
Olive says, I very rarely have more than one passenger. Hmm.
So you don't really need a carry-all.
I want to carry on. I have more than one passenger.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I have friends. They're not imaginary.
Your friend doesn't drive you around.
She doesn't have a car anymore.
What happened to it?
It got I don't know, mechanical problems, and she thinks it's not worth to fix. So
It's cheaper than buying another vehicle.
I don't. Well, she doesn't want to drive anymore. So
Don't know why it has a commercial plate on it,
she
but
wears Ubers and
Ubers are cheaper here.
uses Ubers and buses. And when it's raining, she either doesn't go to work or has her coworker pick her up.
I came back from the border on a bus one time and ordered an Uber. This was like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it came up at 30 pesos to drive me across town. That's like $1.60. So I gave him a big tip when we got here. There's no way he can even buy gas for what he did for 30 pesos. I don't know why it was so cheap, but no, I gave him more money.
Olive says carry-all bodies would be to carry my little motel room and tools. That's what they're
Okay.
for.
Yeah.
Bitsnime says that will be a fun service vehicle.
and it would bring a lot of eyes. I tried to convince Kiwi to do it to get it because if he took that to a car show with the name of his shop on the side, he would be overflowing with business. Everybody would be looking at that thing.
Olive says the brown and yellow scheme just needs a little help. I think I might put some orange stripes on.
Well, I think it needs to be painted other colors other than what brown and yellow bring to mind. I understand their earth tones, but it could be so much better.
Mark says Wagoneer.
Yes, it is a Wagoneer. There should be more coming up here because I took a bunch of them from a customer that I sent them to. But unfortunately, the one that he wanted has a Ford 302 under the hood, and the customs agent that I deal with contacted the EPA in the U.S. and they said no, that vehicle cannot be crossed because it has an engine switch in it, an engine swap in it. So that's too bad because the baby blue Wagoneer with the 302 is a very, very nice vehicle, and I would love to drive it back here.
Bitsnime says agreed spec. Great free-ish advertising.
Yeah.
Mark says lol brown and yellow ish. Olive says people really want Wagoneers up here.
Yeah, but they want Wagoneers that have all of the options and V8 engines and everything else, which is not what these are. These are inline six. They have most of them have stick shifts. They do not have power windows and all of that stuff or air conditioning. So, I mean, I don't know why people pander to their kids and give them an interior with air conditioning. If they can survive one of these without air conditioning, they're going to be stronger for it.
You cannot survive without air conditioning here.
We did for a year.
I don't
We
know.
drove the Plymouth around and stuff.
Yeah, with me full of medication for my allergies.
Mm, whatever works.
That's so rude. Olu says, I wonder if you could ship the engine separately.
I don't think so. There would be no way to ship it. There's no companies that accept it because it's too heavy, and you can't cross it because you need another vehicle to cross it. And then you got I don't know how they would charge tariffs on that. Right now, the United States is not accepting packages from Mexico because they don't know how they're going to charge the tariff.
Fitsnipe says, I like AC. I'm a huss. A huss? Wuss? Wuss.
Wuss,
Okay,
a
sorry,
wuss.
wuss. Sorry. Some words are just like I don't know. Lester says, my mom had a yellow Pinto Squire with brown wood. Poor mom. Why? Pintos are nice.
Yeah, but no, that's not. That would be fine because we know the wood, the brown is wood.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you other vibes. And the yellow on the Pinto was the bright yellow, I bet, and it looked really good.
Yeah. Mark says, hey Megs, are there any Grand Wagoneers as well in Mexico?
Yes, there are some, but they also have the inline six and not a lot of options. That just means it has wood on the side. That's about the only difference. There is one coming up that is a Wagoneer Alpina. It has the Alpina package, which means it has the wagon wheel wheels and a few other options. That's not a package that they put on anything in the U.S. But I had a yellow Pinto, 74 Pinto panel wagon that somebody made it look like a cruiser wagon, but instead of the round window on the side, it had an oblong window on it, kind of like a rectangle with rounded off corners, and that was bright yellow. Everybody knew me by that car. Everybody.
Always says, oh yeah, we're sorry for this stupidity up here, Mex.
Well, they're just trying to the Mexican Postal Service is trying to figure out how to send the packages because I have two packages that need to go out. My customers are waiting for it. and they're gonna have to pay the tariff over there or whatever it is. So just have to figure it out.
Olive says the brown and yellow on that one will look just like the 70s band things. If you put beachy stripes and trim between the yellow and brown.
Yeah, that could work. But I'm sure that somebody, whoever bought it, would paint it the colors of their business and then have their name stenciled on the side. Like I think a deep dark red would look really good on that with some off, with some complementing colors.
Fitzknife says we kinda ADHD over here.
And there's a lot of Wagoneers in Mexico. Also because it's the same thing as the carryalls. They didn't really have any family vehicles selling here, so people would buy a Wagoneer or an '87 when they started selling the Suburban. They'd start buying the Suburban. But in the early '80s, you had the carryall and you had the Wagoneer, and that was it for being able to take your big family anywhere.
Right.
And luckily, they did have four-wheel drive Wagoneers here, but it was the only vehicle that had four-wheel drive.
Making too much noise?
Of course.
Mark Sobe says, Yippee! New episodes of Tulsa King is out. Who's Tulsa King?
What's Tulsa King, Mark? And why would anybody want to be the king of Tulsa?
Fitzknife says, Fist bump, Mark. They started really cheesy or for a few episodes last season. Hope they kick it in gear a little earlier. Apparently, more people know about Tulsa King. Look it up. Let's write it down. Let's write it down.
That's where Monkey Wrench Mike's. That's where Monkey Wrench Mike lives, in Tulsa.
I lost my pen. There you go. Mark says a series on Paramount with Sylvester Stallone.
A very, very old Sylvester Stallone.
Business says Sylvester Stallone is a gangster from New York City who is assigned Tulsa to start his mob empire.
Oh, that might be interesting. I identify with gangsters.
So you want me to write it down?
Sure.
Okay, write it down. What's it called? Tulsa King.
Tulsa King.
Hold on.
So
Tulsa King.
So was this Sylvester Stallone character's choice, or was he being punished in some way, sending him to Tulsa?
I don't know. It was Empire, so. Mark Sabaya says, "Yep, he's 75 plus now. His age 75 plus."
Who, Sylvester Stallone?
Stallone.
Yeah. He's an old boy. Still got it though. Still got all those muscles and stuff. Him and Arnie can have a competition. Because Arnold looks like he's fading away. I don't care what they want you to think on that FUBAR show that he's on. You know he's not doing any of the stunts like he did before. Okay, my microphone's still on.
Yeah, yours was charged to the max. Mine wasn't.
Automotores de Toluca.
Space Knife says Stallone did a 20-year stretch in prison, but didn't rat anybody out. But the Godfather's son took over and exiled him to Tulsa.
Okay, so he did something bad. That's what I figured, because nobody would voluntarily go to Tulsa, except for Monkey Wrench Mike.
I'm gonna tell him.
Go for it. I'm sure he knows.
Mark Sobe says, I thought it was 25 years? Well, something like that.
That's where Tanner's from, Vintage Adventure Drives.
Oh.
He lives very close to Tulsa. And he's an ambulance driver. That's a very nice color on that.
Chris Knight says Tulsa King is an easier watch than a lot of other Taylor Sheridan shows. Yellowstone, Landman, etc. I like Yellowstone. I haven't seen the recent episodes, but yeah, I like Yellowstone.
Did it come back?
I think so, but I haven't seen it.
Mm.
Chris Knight says I will concede 25 lol. So he did 25 years.
Supposedly, Kevin Costner told Adam Carolla he wasn't going to do another season of Yellowstone, but then he did. So
I think Kevin Costner, isn't he in a band? Isn't he? I think Kevin Costner has all his contracts. He puts a clause that if his band goes on tour, he has to go with them or something like that.
he has a band?
I think so. Isn't that him?
No, that's the other guy.
Mm,
The one that Kevin Bacon.
no,
Yes, Kevin Bacon has a band with his brothers.
sure, but it's not
I've
the only
never heard
one.
of Kevin Costner being in a band.
There's plenty of people that are in a band. Dr. House is in a band. Yeah. Business says Taylor Sheridan's Sons of Anarchy and the movie Sicario.
Sicario.
That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe not myself.
It's nice. We get enough of the real life Sicarios here. I don't need to see it on the screen.
Liar, you see it all the time.
I watched him.
Yeah, it's the
But
same thing.
not what he's talking about.
See him and watch it, it's the same thing.
I watched I watched the shows about what happened here.
Yeah.
Right where I'm standing.
Yeah, sure.
Not fictional.
There's your car. Talk about your car.
That's the Alpina. That's the Alpina Wagoneer.
Business says, I don't remember, Mark. These seasons are just too far apart these days. It's hard on an old brain. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've picked up on noticing that a lot of these vehicles still have the original wheels they came with, the original interior, the original radio, the original everything. People just don't mess with vehicles here. They just leave it the way it is.
Thank you for using that word. Stop it.
Which is a very good thing, by the way. Nobody's gotten into the electrical systems and stuff.
Olive says, that's nice. Fitz Knife says, I understand that Spec. Just thought you'd recognize his work. Mark Sobe says, to Pit Snipe, I watched the first 2 seasons all at once, slow. And Pit Snipe says, I do that too, Mark. I sandbag seasons so that I can binge them. Yeah, me too.
I don't.
Yeah,
it's just like I'm in the 70s. I watch one episode per week, and then I go on to the next show, and then the next show. I don't. Maybe 2 episodes, like I've been doing on this other thing. 2 episodes, maybe, but I will not binge. I will not finish I want to live longer in that universe, so I stretch it out, and it gives me time to think about what happened. Like I was telling my niece with Squid Game, she watched all the episodes. All was it season
2?
Season 2. She watched all of them at the same time. I said, but you're not giving yourself time to think about what happened, and get ready for the next one. The anticipation of what's going to happen next is the best part of it. This red truck sold, by the way. It's not for sale anymore.
Mark Sobe says, any trouble with the police for modified vehicles?
In Mexico? No, they have better things to do. You can't have really dark tint. That's the only thing they care about.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
The only thing that they care about is that you have your lights working, and that's sometimes.
Not even that. I've seen vehicles with no lights at all.
Yeah, but like if they if they want to catch someone, they'll go for that. But like if not really.
Places like Guadalajara, you have to smog the vehicle there every year, or every 2 years, every year I think. So everything has to be in working order. But where we are here, nothing, absolutely nothing. Doesn't matter what you're driving down the street. It could be a seat on a chassis. They don't care.
Mark says, my wife and I are going to have to watch the last episode of season 2 before we watch episode 1 of season 3. Okay, that's how it works. Fitz Knife says, good point, Spec. It is easy to forget that what you even saw when you binge watch.
It just all blurs together, and then you don't really get the enjoyment out of it.
No, but I forget.
That's why at the beginning of each episode, this is what happened last time.
Mark Sabes says, okay, so no 5% tint, probably 20% maximum.
I don't know if they go by percentages here. They just want to be able to see who's driving it. Because if they stop you for the tint, they will take the tint off your vehicle right there. The police officer will get whatever out and he'll rip the tint right off the windows of your car. At least he tried. Before my friend's friend called his sister, who's married to the commandant, who radioed to those guys saying, "Hey, you leave those guys alone."
Fitz Knife says, I watch summaries on YouTube before I start a new season. I ain't sandbagging Tulsa King. I'll watch it every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Sabes says, here in Ontario, they had emissions testing until about 5 years, 5 or so years ago. So now I predict a new era of modified cars in Ontario.
Can't really go too far up there. You got to prepare for the snow and everything. So here, it's sunny all the time mostly. There's not really environmental stuff that people have to worry about other than the extreme heat. It's like on my phone, it says, okay, tomorrow will be 96, but it'll feel like 109.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. And for the next 5 days.
Mark says, well, your modified cars get stored in the winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys have to change tires and everything twice a year, don't you? People here don't change tires even every 10 years.
Have you ever put chains on your tires?
No, not even when I was in the snow. Can't imagine how to do that. We were driving motorhomes. We had a Class A motorhome and a Class C motorhome. And we were driving from Vegas up through Reno up to get to Oregon. And we had to go up this grade on the highway. And it was a little bit icy. And the motorhome started to slip to the side. It was not fun, but yeah, we got over the top. We made it.
Olive says, I really like dark tints. If it's not a window, I have to see out of it. If it's not a window, I have to see out of.
Mm-hmm.
Fitz Knife says, I gotta go feed my new shop kitties. Oh, shop kitties. Don't hate me, but I named them Bernadette, Skeeters, and Jeannie Wildhair. Oh, Beanie and Jeannie. Oh, cute.
As long as you don't feel embarrassed when you're standing at your door yelling their names out,
Yeah.
that's fine. Our cats are Danny, Joey, and Veronica. Okay.
No, Banji.
That's her name, but
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Sorry,
Veronica.
Vanessa. Her name is Vanessa.
Fitz Knife says, I love old Mel Brooks movies. My faves. I have the what? Mark says in Quebec you could get fined if you don't have. Why am I having issues reading? In Quebec you could get fined if you don't have to correct tires. In Ontario there is no laws on that, so people can drive with all season tires all year round.
Mm,
Not recommended though.
no, not good.
I do love Mel Brooks and also his son. Uh, he wrote the series, which I don't recommend the movie, but he wrote the series of World War C. The movie's crap. Don't watch the movie. Like it doesn't matter. But the books, so good. I have all the books. I think I have all the books of the series.
How can you not love Mel Brooks? The reason he wrote Blazing Saddles was to see how many times he could get characters in the movie to say the N word. That was the only reason he wrote that movie. So no matter how many times you watch his movies, they're all funny.
Yeah.
You laugh your ass off. But he's getting up there. He's 90 something now.
But still, my favorite, like, funny of that era movie is Airplane.
Yep, of
Like,
course.
sorry to Mel Brooks, but
Of course.
that's my movie. Pisnap says, "Wow, I didn't know Brooks' son wrote World War C. Interesting. Yeah,
You sure it was Mel Brooks and not Albert Brooks?
I am. We've had this fight so many times. It is Mel Brooks' son. I don't remember what his name is, but it is Mel Brooks' son that wrote World War C. That's why I brought it to you because I was like, oh, look at this book that I'm looking at. It is written by the son of Mel Brooks.
And I thought it was Albert Brooks.
No, it's Mel Brooks. But yeah, the movie doesn't have it has nothing to do with the books, like nothing at all whatsoever. Um, the book is, I wouldn't call it a super good book. It's good if you like zombie books, um, and like survival stuff. But yeah, I have all the books.
Albert Brooks wrote Defending Your Life. And if any of you haven't seen it, go watch it. And then you have to decide for yourself, are you the Meryl Streep character or are you the Albert Brooks character in your life?
Okay.
You'll have to watch it to understand what I'm talking about.
Bisnap says he's making another Spaceballs right now. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Olive says, usually for lack of budget, I like to sporty/soft compound all seasons. They will tend to age out before I wear them out anyway, the tires.
That's just happened to me. I had to put new tires on my truck because they were 10 years old and I'm not taking them on the highway.
Yeah. Bitsnipe says, somebody has to make a Gene Wilder biopic with Jeremy Allen White. They're dead ringers.
Nobody's even come up with that yet, though. I wonder why. Because he had a very interesting life. He was in so many notable movies.
Are you gonna see the movie with the? It already came out, but the I don't remember what it's called, but it was with the Saturday Night Live characters.
There's a billion movies with the Saturday Night Live characters.
No, not with the Saturday Night. With like it was the Saturday Night Live.
It was about Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live, yeah,
No.
with the first characters or whatever, the first people that were there.
Not ready for prime time players. No, I don't think so.
Mm.
I already watched it from when it was on, so that was enough for me.
What do you mean? Oh, okay.
I don't want to see people portraying what they were.
I don't want to.
And how they did it.
I don't care to see it because Saturday Night Live is not my thing. But
if you watch the original ones, you'd laugh. There's no laughing anymore.
I guess, but it's not really my thing. But is it paused? Why is it paused?
Ended.
Ah, it's ended. There's a difference.
Yes.
I was like, why is it paused? Anyway, but what's his name? Oh, what's the name of that actor that I like?
You're not getting any help.
Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien plays one of the characters, and I'm just curious to see it because of him. But I don't know if I'm gonna like it because I don't care for the show.
When it first came on, it was must-see TV because the first guys were so good.
Pitsnipe says Kim Coates as Marty Feldman.
Marty Feldman.
Pitsnipe says the Netflix Saturday Night is really good. It's fun. And always says, "Ooh, a green one."
I saw something came up on my computer. or one of the videos that says, "Oh, these Saturday Night Live stars are leaving," and
What?
in the thumbnail, I didn't recognize any of them. Like they were even on there. So I don't care.
I don't remember who is playing though in the movie. I just don't know the original ones. I'm sorry. I don't. It's not a thing that I follow, so I wouldn't
Hmm.
know. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would I watch it if it's not something that I follow or I would understand?
Hmm.
It's based. Well, it's not based. It's the movie of the lives of these actors while they were doing this show that I know nothing about or care to know anything about. So why would I watch it? But I still want to see that Ryan.
Somebody knocks on your door and they say pizza. Be careful, it might be a land shark.
Olive says SNL occasionally does an amusing opening skit, but otherwise pretty useless for a long time now.
Yeah.
I didn't saw the beginning of SNL, and it wasn't on my regular TV channels. I only saw him with Mr. Spec after we started hanging out and dating. I only saw it very rarely, so I didn't. It's not a thing that I follow or like really for that reason. Really, Fitsnap says I catch the occasional YouTube clip of SNL. I like the news segments.
I haven't seen anything funny in quite a while. At least not funny to us. Maybe it's funny between them, but it's not funny to us. It's been
Mm.
that way for quite a long time. I mean, in the original group from '75, there was not a bad guy in there. Every one of them was funny, and every one of them went on to have a good career.
So why wouldn't you watch the movie?
Because I've already seen it. I don't want to see somebody in somebody portraying
but
John Belushi or Chevy Chase or any of them.
they're not gonna they're gonna show things from like the behind the cameras and stuff.
Yeah, well, we don't know if any of that's true.
Well, you have to see it to understand it. Olive says, when I was a child, my mother thought it was a bad influence, but I'd hear all about it from the other kids. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah,
Bitsnap says it's hard to compete with Gumby. Gumby. Who's Gumby? Who's Gumby?
I'm Gumby. Damn it,
I don't know what that means.
that was an Eddie Murphy character.
Okay.
Put that on
Driveway.
your list. Look up who Gumby is.
I just knew. I'm
And
gonna have such a long list.
it was a claymation show that I watched when
It
I
was
was
the
a
one
kid.
with the red suit.
No, red suit.
There's a what did you name? What did you say the name was?
Gumby.
No, the actor that plays.
No, just look up Gumby, the original.
Fine.
You don't need to look up the SNL skit.
Fine. Chris says, "Oh, good, you're still here." We're talking so many random topics.
For another 7 minutes or so.
I'm having fun.
It's Sunday.
I don't care.
I need an hour to meditate before Tony comes on.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, right.
Krishna says the show is behind the scene of the first show only.
The very first show.
You mean the movie or the show on Netflix? Or like, are we talking about the same thing? Krishna says Eddie Murphy played Gumby Foot.
Yeah, damn it.
Krishna says Mr. Bill.
More claymation.
Barracuda says Phil Hartman was one of the best.
Yes, he was. He absolutely was. In everything he did.
Olive says, here we go. Green and beige carryall. That's like Olive Spec right there. Ooh.
Yeah, that is olive green.
Pitsna says Hartman was really talented. And Chris says, we need an hour to rest before the Sunday night barking extravaganza. I mean, Tony's live stream starts.
Well, last week he was at the shop because Kathy was trying to train the dogs. So maybe we'll have less barking. And
in 1 week,
if the dogs are barking, should I suggest to her to put rubber bands around their mouths?
No. How dare
You
you?
think she would be offended by that?
Yes. Stop it.
I mean, she hasn't taken my suggestion of being an alpha.
Stop it. Bisnap says the Netflix show Saturday Night is a behind the scenes look at the first show. The network was ready to dump to a Carson's rerun, but they somehow pulled it off.
Mm,
Sorry, okay.
okay.
Driveway says rivets work on pretty well too. On the dog's
Rivet?
mouth? Stop
Rivets?
it! On the dog's mouth.
How do you rivet a dog's mouth?
Stop it, you don't. Mark says, I remember watching this caveman cartoon when I was a kid. It was drawn on paper with separate feet on paper as well. I can't find those cartoons anymore.
Captain Caveman you're talking about? He was a
Captain
he was a superhero with the club in his hand. Actually, the club was in this hand.
Captain Underpants?
No. Mark is much older than that. Captain Caveman, it should be.
Business says, our chocolate Labrador is Gilda. Gilly.
Yeah. Gilda
Gilly?
Radner was one of the first two.
Barracuda and Dana Carvey. Olive says, yeah, SNL really did come from some grassroots comedy people.
Yeah. And they knew what they were doing. We still talk about the skits that they did in 1975. At least smart people do. You can't really say that much about the later seasons.
Mark says, no, it wasn't a Warner Brothers or Hanna-Barbera cartoon. It was something much more simple. Olive says, oh, Captain Caveman.
You have to do that in a much lower, grittier voice. That was his voice.
I only know Captain Underpants, sorry. You know Captain Underpants?
Yes.
You do?
I've seen books.
Chris says to Mark Sove, maybe it was a Canada only thing?
Maybe they didn't let it cross the border.
Chris Snipe says Second City Chicago is where most of them came from. Meanwhile, Second City TV out of Toronto was taking off. Chris says 82 to 84 SNL was really good too, with Eddie Murphy at all.
Yeah, and the rest of them. Yeah, I just watched a show last night, The Murders in the Building. It was with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. Were from Saturday Night Live, and they're both kicking, both doing well. Steve Martin just had his 80th birthday. He still looks like he did on Saturday Night Live the first time we saw him. Still looks exactly the same, except for that weird hat he was wearing.
Mark Sabes says to Chris, maybe, but there was no dialogue, so it could have been from any place. Mm-hmm. You can tell when they're from Russia. Just letting you know right now. Or Germany. When cartoons are from Russia or Germany, you know. Yeah, they have a like really dark under. You haven't even seen cartoons from that place? That's so weird. They're so weird. Pizza says, Murder in the Building. I'll have to look it up. I didn't saw it.
Let me get the exact name.
But you're gonna mess up the line. Do you have it written down? Okay.
The name is Only Murders in the Building. They're on their 5th season, and they solve only murders in the building.
5th season?
Yeah, they have 5 seasons. There was a murder outside in the park or something, and Martin Short's character, oh, well, we could split our time and go solve that one. No, only murders in the building, and they've had 5 seasons of murders in their building.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, yes. Absolutely. But I only watched 2 episodes, so I didn't think it was going to be, I thought it was going to be different because of the way Steve Martin and Martin Short relate with each other, but it's really good. I really like it.
You know what?
Selena Gomez thrown in there for the young part.
Just random thought that I had right now. We don't use a tablet for anything anymore. Maybe we could put YouTube on it and do this on the tablet instead, so it's bigger, and I can have my phone to look up shit on the side.
Or maybe we could take our other TV and put it on its side like Buff and Kim, and
It's
have
not
the
a smart.
questions
It's not.
all going.
It's not a smart TV, so uh, I'll have to be like this. How do you call it?
Hardwired.
Yeah, but yeah. Chris says, hopefully it's a really big building, lol.
There, yeah, it's a huge building, but I don't know.
Barry says, I like my TV.
Oh, Mad TV.
Yeah, my
I never
TV.
watched that, and I never bought the magazine. I know all about it, but I never really got into it, except for folding the back page.
I know the reference. I know the reference. You don't
Yeah.
have to
Okay,
say it,
you
but
had to be
like
there.
it's like yeah,
You had to be there.
yeah.
There's a lot of difference in comedy now.
Being Mexican, there's a lot of the shows that you're mentioning, guys, that I don't like. I know of them, but I don't know them. Like SNL is one of them because like it wasn't on my TV. So Fitznaf says Will Sasso is Will Sasso is one of my faves. He was great on Young Sheldon. Watching him break Brian Collins' chops on YouTube is hilarious.
Which one was Will Sasso? Is that the older brother?
But
Because the kid that played Ian, the kid that played Sheldon was Ian something.
mm. Business says the big guy, the dad that owns the auto shop. Can we look it up? Florida.
I Who owns a water
Let's look for
an
Will
auto
Sasso.
shop? No.
See, this is what we need a tablet. Yes.
Okay, so he wasn't a regular character on Young Sheldon then. Because they did a spin-off from Young Sheldon. The older brother is now married, has a baby, and the middle sister does appearances on there. And she was asked in an interview if Sheldon would ever be on there, and she said if you go by the Big Bang Theory's lore, Sheldon doesn't talk to his older brother anymore, so no, he would never make an appearance on the show. So you got to go with that.
This type says Georgie works for his father-in-law, Sasso. He's in every episode.
Oh, I haven't seen like the last 5 seasons or whatever. I don't even know what channel it's on or was on. I just saw YouTube videos about the last episode where the father died and their reactions to it and everything else. So
Spoilers.
everybody knew it was going to happen if you ever watched The Big Bang Theory.
I know I'm laughing. Business says I just watch clips, never watched the whole show.
Yeah. But boy, when a young actor grows up over the summertime, I was watching a show called Resident Alien, and in the first season, the little boy on the show supposedly can see aliens, and he knew that the alien was there, and he took over for the doctor and everything. Then you come to season 2, and he grew like 6 inches, and completely his face completely changed and everything. I know it's the same actor, but completely different look. And they didn't even reference it. They just they just kept going like it was exactly the same. But
it is.
Yeah, but I mean he looks like a different person.
He went from child to preteen.
Yeah.
On a summer.
Or teenager, whatever it was. I don't know.
Business says Stranger Things will have a new season soon. Those kids look like 30 something. Yeah.
I saw those kids in an interview during or after the first season, and there was not one likable person around that table personally. So I didn't go back to watch any of the seasons. They're not interesting to me, which is too bad.
Yeah, you can tell
I
a
mean, the
lot of.
story's pretty far out there too. Other than there's a Pinto in the show. Winona Ryder drives a Pinto. It's the only reason to watch.
Mm. Business is slow. Strawberry or tomato. I think strawberry.
What, the color?
The stick shift.
Oh,
The stick shift lover was
I don't
the.
know why they put a commercial plate on that one either. It's an enclosed vehicle.
Chris says Netflix really milked the hell out of Stranger Things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they got to get viewers. That's how they get their money back.
Ay, mis piernas.
We got to get off here because it's 4:05, 4:06, and I need to do a few things. Looks like the clouds came over, so it's not as shiny outside, not as sunny outside. So I can go clean up the backyard.
Snap says I didn't mind the last season.
It's just too far. Too far. I mean,
It's
there
too
has to be
much.
something believable in there. So we're gonna get off here, guys. Thank you everybody for sticking with us. I can't give out Kim points, but we'll figure out something.
His Snap says take care, y'all. I gotta go wrangle kitties. Oh, kitties! Give him kisses for me.
So I also have videos to watch from the No Name Nationals to see what's going on their last day. And I want to see Jamie sing. I don't know. He can't play guitar for crap. Let's see if he can sing.
You're so rude. Let's just say thanks. Mark Sabes says lol knocking points later all. Chris says take care all. Olive says have a good
I'll
one.
see a few of you in about an hour.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.